if you are watching this video right now, it's very likely that your Facebook ad accounts got hacked or your Facebook Business Manager or something there has gone down. So if that is happening to you, first off, I'm sorry, that sucks. I went through that same thing about a year ago. I'm actually making this video as a follow-up to a previous video that I posted, which you might have seen, where I talk about how we got hacked and what you can do if that just happened to you. I want to make this video as a follow-up because I've had a lot of people reach out to me about what happened and if they could get their ad accounts back now that their Facebook ad accounts have been hacked and they lost them. So what I'm going to share with you here is like kind of really quickly what happened to us if you didn't see my last video, and then what we were able to do to get back up and running with our ads. So the good news is where there's a will, there's a way. I do think if you've gone down, like you can find a way to get back up with running ads. It just might be a little more, I'll share you exactly what worked for us and hopefully that'll be helpful for you too. So kind of going back to where this all started, about a year ago, someone on my team had their Facebook personal profile hacked. We don't know how it happened. We had like enabled that everyone had to have two-factor authentication, but somehow someone still got access to their Facebook profile. Through that, they got access to our business manager. I've been running Facebook ads for 8-9 years now. We had a bunch of clients who were running Facebook ads for. Facebook ads was a huge source of our income, and overnight that just got taken away. So like a lot of businesses, we were just super dependent on being able to run Facebook ads. So what ended up happening was we contacted Facebook. They were helpful in the beginning in the sense that like they got the hackers out. The hackers spent a bunch of money on our credit cards, but they were able to get that to stop. And then I was under the impression, after having dealt with a lot of we had a lot of ad accounts banned over the years and just the process of running a lot of ads. So I was under the assumption, like, let's go through them. They'll get it fixed. Maybe it'll take a while, but a couple of weeks we'll be back up and running. After about 4 months of going back and forth with them, I got an email one day that was just like, hey, we can't tell you why, but some of the higher ups have said, like, we can no longer help you and support you. So we have to end this support ticket right here, and we'll no longer be able to support you anymore. At that point, they had got the hackers out of our business manager. They had added me back in, but like we had 2,400 disabled ad accounts in that business manager. We couldn't create new ad accounts. We couldn't run ads. Any credit card that I have ever used in that business manager would no longer work. Any credit card with my name on it would no longer work. My pages wouldn't work. We lost everything. And so at that point, it was like, okay, we have to get something figured out to get back up and running again with ads. So that's what I started going through this process that I'm going to share with you here. So, by the way, if you just got hacked, like if this just happened to you, check out my other video that I'll put in the description because that has like the step-by-step of what we did, like right when it happened. So if this just happened to you, that could be really helpful. This is kind of more of like the continuation of how we got back up and running, right? So 4 months go by, Facebook tells us they're no longer going to help us anymore. So what I was able to do in the short term was talk to a family member of mine who had a Facebook account that they didn't use, and I got them to give me their password. I put two-factor authentication on my phone for their account. I logged in as them. I set up a new business manager. I set up new page. I set up a new pixel. I set up a new ad account, and I just started running ads as them. I got them added as like an employee credit card on my business account so that they, like we could have their name on the credit card, but it would be paid for by my company. And that's how we were able to get up and running in the short term. And so that worked. And for a few months, I ran ads as them. Obviously, you would need a really trusted person to be able to do this, but like this is a super close family member of mine, so it wasn't an issue. Then a couple of weeks after that, we were launching a new offer with a new partner, and we wanted to have another set of ad accounts that we could run from. And so if you've ever had any like association with the internet marketing, affiliate marketing, drop shipping, e-commerce world, they buy and sell ad accounts it's a very common thing on the marketplace. Like there are vendors that do this. There are people whose whole businesses are dedicated around like getting access to business managers, warming them up, selling them, all kinds of stuff. And so we decided to go through the process of like purchasing one of those, which it was a little bit more technical, but like at the end of the day wasn't super terribly difficult. So basically for that, we use like the software that pulled up here on my computer, like Go Login. It's just like a browser, and you use proxy IP addresses so that you have a dedicated IP address that you're always logging in through. So you're like through this browser, you're always logging in through the same location. That's what the social media platforms will see. And like we bought a profile and a business manager and the ad accounts that went along with it. And so that wasn't terribly difficult to do. And so now we have a backup business manager, and we have like a backup ad account and all of that stuff. And so I think if you again, if you really want to get up and running in ads again, or like ads are a key part of your business, being able to buy this kind of stuff is also good to know that that's an option. Like the downside is you might lose your page. You might have to start over with your page again. But again, there's ways to you can run like campaigns to build up your social proof again and all this stuff. So I realize that it's not easy. It's kind of a pain in the but at the same time, like it's doable, and so we were able to do that. What I want to show you here is now we have this kind of new setup that we're working towards with how we're building things to protect ourselves, because this is how most people have their stuff set up, because this is how Facebook would tell you to set your stuff up at. But Facebook is obviously not helpful with this stuff. And a lot of these bans and people getting hacked and all this stuff is a major issue, and they're not doing anything about it. So we're kind of rebuilding things to protect ourselves better in the future. So again, most people have one business manager, and inside of it, they have their Facebook page, their Instagram page, their ad account, their pixels. All of that stuff is hosted under one business manager. The problem with this is that all of your stuff is now dependent on this one business manager. If you get hacked, if it gets taken down, if it gets disabled, whatever happens, you're in the situation we were in, which is now you have to start over from scratch. So this new setup that we're working towards is kind of something more like this, where we have a backup business manager. And in one business manager, we're just hosting our pixels, or our data sources now that they call it. And the idea there being if you spend a lot of money on ads, if you've got a lot of good data built up on a pixel, you wouldn't lose it. It'd be protected in one place that you would have access to, and you can share that out into other business managers. And then we have another business manager that has all our ad accounts. And so if something happens to this business manager, if this were to go away, it wasn't really just as dramatic as I wanted it to. If this were to go away, right, we lost everything, then we could connect these pixels to a different business manager. And then the pages, the IG, Facebook, and Instagram page would be not held inside the business manager. They would be separate pages that are admins. We have yourself, and then hopefully you can find a trusted team member, business partner, family member, whatever, who is also an admin and also is really particular about cybersecurity to make sure that they're probably not going to get hacked either. So you always have a backup. And again, if something happens to this business manager, you can reconnect pixels to another business manager, and you can reconnect pages to another business manager. So this is kind of some of the steps that we're starting to take to have more protection with what we're doing, because again, now I realize we can buy business managers, we can buy ad accounts, we can buy Facebook pages. All of those things can be purchased for us to keep running ads. But, if we have to start over from scratch, that's a huge pain. And so we're trying to prevent that from happening by keeping the things that host the most historical data that are really valuable for us, which would be our pixels and potentially our Facebook pages and Instagram pages, in a way that if something happens to our ad accounts, if something happens to our business manager, we can just connect those over. So yeah, so that's it. That's kind of the update for us. So again, kind of real quick summary, if this is happening to you and you're having a hard time getting back up and running and Facebook's not being helpful and Facebook's not doing anything for you, I'm sorry, but that I think has happened to a lot of people. Definitely happened to us. So again, short-term scenario, best case scenario, if you can find a trusted business partner, family member or something, and open everything up and run it through them and just start it from scratch, do it. If you have two business partners and you can do two business managers and one hosts all the pixels and stuff and one hosts all the new ad accounts and they're shared so that you have that backup layer in the future, great. And then as another scenario is if you don't have any of that, you can always go buy these accounts. Anyone who spends a lot of time in the affiliate marketing, drop shipping, style world, like probably knows exactly where to get them. And you can just buy ad accounts and pages and just kind of, again, start over. But, at that point have the ability to just like, hopefully you don't have to buy a lot of them, but if anything does happen, like you can always get back up and running again. So that's my story. I hope this was helpful. One thing I will add, just because of the fact that I'm talking about Facebook ad accounts being banned, there's going to be a ton of like recovery scammers in the comments. This happened in my last video too. So just be really careful about that. What they do is like they find people who have recently been hacked. They promise they can help them for a amount of money or data or whatever it is. You send them your information, you send them money, they don't do anything for you. So it's a really big deal. Be really careful about that. Just be really careful about cybersecurity in general. Like hacking has become way worse over the last couple of years. It's only going to get worse. So the best things you can do is like always use two-factor authentication. 1Password is probably one of the best things that I pay for every year. For me and my whole team, we're all on 1Password. So if your passwords are in a spreadsheet, they're all, the exact same password, you can even Evernote, anything like that puts you at a real potential for getting hacked. And you really want to avoid this going forward. So like best practices, use a password tool. 1Password is the best one I found. I did a bunch of research when I got it because it just also seems to be the most secure from what I found. 2FA everything, unique passwords for everything. Beware of phishing emails and all that stuff because they're really good with Facebook these days. Like they make them look really good these days. So be really good about that. And good luck. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions for me or anything, drop them in the comments down below this video and I'll try to help out as much as I can. Other than that, good luck to you. I hope you have a great day and catch you in another video.